There's something quiet that happens around the age of 60 or 70. You start noticing little things. A bit more stiffness in the morning, a little less energy after lunch, maybe a growing sense that your body isn't quite as quick to bounce back as it used to be. And sometimes you wonder, is this just what getting older feels like? But here's something surprising, even shocking, that most people never hear. Your body is not giving up on you. It's not breaking down. It's simply whispering. And the question is, are you listening? Hi, my dear. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Because in this video, I want to show you something gentle, something powerful. We're going to talk about 4 parts of your body that are rarely mentioned in doctor visits. Areas that most people overlook, but that quietly hold the keys to your vitality, balance, memory, and even sleep. No fancy treatments, no expensive equipment, just warm, thoughtful care for the parts of you that have carried so much and deserve to be cared for in return. Let me tell you a story. A few months ago, I met a woman named Louise. She's 74, lovely silver hair, soft hands, and a heart full of stories. But when she walked into the room, you could see the weariness in her shoulders. She looked at me and said, "I don't know what's happening to me. I'm not sick, but I don't feel well. I'm slowing down, but I don't know why." So we talked. We didn't just talk about her blood pressure or her diet. We talked about her feet, her armpits, her inner thighs, her back, her scalp. The places that don't often get love, but that speak volumes when we start to listen. That conversation changed everything for Louise, and what she discovered, you can too. So make yourself a warm cup of tea, sit somewhere cozy, because over the next 25 minutes, I'm going to walk with you, gently, slowly, through the forgotten parts of your own beautiful body. We're going to remember what it feels like to care deeply for yourself, not because something is wrong, but because you're worth caring for. Let's begin, right where the body begins, at the feet, because what carries you, carries your life. 1. Foot wisdom. If you really want to understand how someone is doing, look at their feet. That's what my mentor used to say. Back when I was still in my early days of practice, I didn't quite understand what he meant. But now, after decades of walking with patients through their later years, I do. I understand deeply. Because your feet, they tell a story. I once cared for a man named Harold. He was 78, a retired school principal. Tall, dignified. But he had this quiet sadness in his posture. Not quite pain, not quite illness, just a sense of fading. He told me, "Doc, I just don't go out much anymore. My legs feel heavy. My balance isn't what it used to be." And when we examined him, it wasn't his heart or his lungs or even his joints that were the main issue. It was his feet. Dry, cold, with reduced circulation. Forgotten. You see, your feet are your body's foundation. And like the roots of a strong tree, if they aren't nourished, everything above them begins to suffer. Your energy, your sleep, even your sense of confidence. But here's the good news. With a little care, your feet can come back to life, just like Harold's did. Let me explain why. Our feet contain over 7,000 nerve endings. They're rich with pressure points that link to organs throughout the body, your kidneys, liver, even your lungs. This isn't just old folk wisdom. Modern science confirms that regular foot massage and stimulation improve blood circulation, balance, and even immune function. In fact, a recent study from the Mayo Clinic showed that seniors who took time daily for proper foot care had 40% fewer falls and reported better sleep and less fatigue. So what can you do right now? At home, start simple. Each morning or evening, soak your feet in warm, not hot, Water for just 5 minutes. Let the warmth loosen the stiffness and wake up the blood vessels. Then, using a soft cloth and gentle soap, clean your feet in slow, circular motions. Pay attention to the skin between your toes, a place many forget, but where moisture and fungus like to hide. Dry thoroughly. And I mean thoroughly. This isn't just about comfort, it's about preventing infections. Then comes the part I call gratitude through touch, massage. Take a little time to thank your feet. Use your thumbs to gently press and move from the ball of your foot down to the heel. Don't rush. Don't press too hard. Just breathe and feel. If you have lotion, especially one for circulation, apply it after. But even without it, your touch alone is powerful. One of my patients, Margaret, who's now 82, does this every night before bed. She calls it her quiet ritual. She lights a candle, puts on soft music, and thanks her feet for carrying her through the day. She told me once, "I may not walk as fast as I used to, but I walk with love now." That's the point. Caring for your feet isn't about vanity or even just hygiene. It's about reclaiming your freedom. Because when your feet feel good, when they're strong and supported, you feel more confident stepping outside, walking to the market, greeting a neighbor. And that simple act of movement, it keeps your heart young. So, here's your invitation. Tonight, take 10 minutes. Soak, cleanse, dry, and massage. Not because something's wrong, but because your feet have taken you so far, and they deserve it. And as we move upward in the body, let's not forget the places that carry just as much hidden importance. There's one area most people never talk about, but it quietly holds your body's detox center and immune strength. Let's talk about the armpits. 2. The underarm secret. There's a little corner of the body that we hardly think about. We clean it out of habit. We apply deodorant without much thought. And then we move on. But that small hollow under your arm? It's not just about smell. It's one of your body's most powerful systems working quietly beneath the surface. When I first learned this, it surprised me too. I was caring for Helen, a 73-year-old woman full of light, but always run down. She had recurring colds, tension in her shoulders, and this lingering fatigue she couldn't shake. Her heart was fine, so were her lungs. But something wasn't flowing right. And then we looked deeper, into her lymphatic system. That's when I realized no one had ever told her how important her underarms were. You see, your armpits are like traffic control stations for your lymphatic system. Inside each one is a cluster of lymph nodes, tiny filters that catch toxins, fight infection, and help clean your bloodstream. But just like any filter, they need to stay clear to work properly. When this area gets congested, through lack of movement, poor hygiene, or even certain chemical products, your entire immune system can slow down. So, what can we do? Start by changing the way we think about this space. Instead of just a spot to spray deodorant, think of your underarms as vital, living tissue. They need care. They need breath. In Helen's case, we began with 3 simple steps. First, gentle cleansing. Not scrubbing, not harsh soaps, just warm water and a mild, unscented cleanser. We taught her to use circular motions, starting from the outer edge of the armpit, slowly moving inward. This encourages natural lymph flow, the body's drainage system, to move toward the heart, where it's processed and cleared. Second, drying with care. She used to pat quickly and put on clothes while still damp, but moisture in the underarms, especially for older skin, creates the perfect place for bacteria to linger. Now, she gently pats dry, gives it a moment to breathe, and only then gets dressed. Third, lymphatic massage. This is the part no one talks about, but it makes all the difference. Each morning, Helen began using soft, upward strokes from the center of her armpit toward her collarbone. Just 2 minutes a day. That's it. After 3 weeks, she called me with a laugh in her voice. "Doc," she said, "I haven't felt this light in years." She wasn't imagining it. Science backs this up. Stimulating the underarms lymph nodes improves detoxification, reduces swelling, and even eases shoulder and neck tension. It's like opening a clogged drain. The whole system flows better. We also helped Helen switch to a natural deodorant. Aluminum-based antiperspirants, though effective at stopping sweat, can block these very drainage points. Instead, we tested gentle alternatives, like magnesium or baking soda blends. Always patch testing first, because older skin can be more sensitive. And here's something I tell all my patients now. If your underarms feel tight, heavy, or unusually tender, don't ignore it. That's your body whispering. Sometimes it's how deeper issues begin to show themselves. Caring for your underarms doesn't take much time, but it sends a powerful message to your body. I see you. I support you. I want you to heal. So tonight, when you're getting ready for bed, pause just a moment. Wash gently. Pat dry. Breathe. Maybe even place your hand there, just for a second. And thank that part of you for working so hard behind the scenes. Because next, we'll explore another area just as often ignored, but just as vital to the body's strength and energy. It's where blood flows like a river, and comfort can make or break your entire day. Let's talk about your inner thighs. 3. Thigh gateways. There's a quiet place on our bodies that most of us don't think about much. It's not where we wear jewelry or apply lotion. It doesn't show up in family photos. And yet, the inner thighs are one of the most powerful and overlooked gateways to your overall health and energy. I remember Tom, a kind 76-year-old retired teacher who came to me not for pain but for a strange tiredness in his legs. "They feel heavy," he said, "like I'm walking through mud by the afternoon." He hadn't changed his routine, wasn't on new medication, and his blood work looked fine, but something was off. So I asked him something simple. "How do your inner thighs feel at the end of the day?" He looked surprised. "You mean where my legs touch? I've never really paid attention." And that's exactly the issue. As we grow older, we often forget about areas of our bodies that quietly carry us through life. The inner thighs are one of them. But here's the truth. They are far more than just in-between spaces. This area houses some of the largest blood vessels in your body, including the femoral artery and vein, which carry life-giving oxygen and nutrients from your heart to your lower limbs and return used blood for detoxification. Tucked in nearby are also major lymphatic nodes, which help drain waste, regulate fluid, and support your immune system. In short, if your inner thighs aren't happy, your whole circulatory system feels it. The signs are subtle at first: swelling after sitting, itchy skin, fatigue without reason. And over time, if left uncared for, they can lead to more serious problems: poor circulation, varicose veins, even liver congestion or limited mobility. But the good news? Small, consistent care can make a profound difference. Let me walk you through 3 simple steps I recommend to all my senior patients, and to anyone who wants to feel lighter, more energized, and more in tune with their body. Step 1. Cleanse gently but thoroughly. Morning and night, use lukewarm water and a fragrance-free, non-drying soap. Always wash using gentle upward strokes, not side to side. Think of it as helping traffic flow in the right direction. Then, and this is crucial, dry the area completely. Moisture caught between the thighs can become a breeding ground for irritation, especially in warmer months or after walks. A soft towel, patting rather than rubbing, works best. For those prone to friction, a light dusting of cornstarch, not talcum, can help keep the area dry without clogging pores. Step 2. Stimulate circulation with gentle movements. Movement doesn't need to be intense to be effective. Here are two of my favorites. The seated butterfly. Sit on a chair or edge of your bed, feet together, knees gently falling outward. Slowly press your knees toward the floor. Hold for 5 seconds, then release. Repeat 5 times. This opens the hip and thigh muscles and boosts blood flow. The inner thigh squeeze. While seated, place a soft pillow or rolled towel between your knees. Gently squeeze, hold for 5 seconds, and release. Repeat 10 times. This exercise engages your adductor muscles and gently stimulates deeper circulation. Just 5 minutes a day of these movements can reduce swelling, prevent stiffness, and even improve liver enzyme flow by supporting the vessels that feed into your abdominal core. Step 3. Choose breathable clothing and prevent friction. What we wear matters more than we think. Synthetic fabrics trap moisture and heat, which can irritate delicate skin. Choose breathable natural fibers like cotton or bamboo, especially for undergarments. Avoid tight elastics that press into the groin area. And at night, if possible, sleep in loose clothing or without anything tight around your thighs. Let your body breathe and recover. One of my patients, Mary, 74, used to complain of mysterious fatigue and achy legs. After making just these changes, daily gentle cleaning, simple seated stretches, and switching to looser cotton clothing, her symptoms began to fade. Her energy came back, and she told me with a smile, "I feel like I got a piece of myself back." It's remarkable how something so small, just a few inches of skin and muscle, can hold the key to feeling strong, confident, and free again. And maybe that's the deeper lesson here. In aging, we don't just lose strength or youth. Sometimes we lose touch with parts of ourselves, not out of neglect, but simply because no one told us they mattered. Well, I'm here to tell you, they do. Your inner thighs are not just the space between your steps, they're highways of life. Care for them, and they'll carry you further than you thought possible. Now, as we continue this journey, let's move upward to a part of the body even fewer people talk about, but one that holds immense power for your immune system and energy. Let's explore what your underarms might be trying to tell you. Chapter 4, Spine and Scalp. I often tell my patients something simple yet powerful. When your back is stiff and your mind feels foggy, everything in life becomes harder. And it may surprise you to hear this, but just a few minutes a day spent caring for your back and scalp, those two areas we tend to forget, can completely shift how energized, alert, and emotionally balanced you feel. Let me tell you about Barbara. She's 75, bright, witty, and very active in her community. But not long ago, she came to me saying her back felt tight all the time and her mind wasn't as sharp as it used to be. Some days, she told me, I walk into the kitchen and forget why I'm even there. When I asked her, "When was the last time you gave your back or your scalp any real attention?" she laughed and said, "Probably when I still had a full-time job." You see, the scalp and the spine are deeply connected to your nervous system. Your scalp houses thousands of blood vessels that nourish your brain, while your spine is like the body's information highway, sending signals between your brain and every part of your body. If either one gets tight, inflamed, or neglected, it's like a kink in a hose. Energy, focus, even your mood can suffer. The good news? These areas respond beautifully to gentle, loving care. Let's start with your spine, the body's core energy channel. After your shower, take an extra 2 minutes. Use a long-handled soft brush or a towel and gently brush from your lower back upwards toward your shoulders. Always move in upward strokes. Think of it as helping your energy rise. Not only does this stimulate circulation, it activates your lymphatic system and relieves tension from sitting or lying down for too long. Want to do even more? Add in a few morning stretches. Roll your shoulders back slowly, 5 times. Stand tall and gently twist from side to side, like you're wringing out stress. These simple movements help keep your spine mobile, your nerves happy, and your body more balanced throughout the day. Now, let's talk about your scalp, your brain's garden. Many of us wash our hair quickly, like we're in a rush to get it over with. But the next time you're in the shower, try this. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and use the pads of your fingertips, not your nails, to massage your scalp in gentle, slow circles. Start from your forehead and move back toward the base of your neck. It's only 2 minutes, but it can do wonders. This tiny ritual improves blood flow to the brain, reduces tension headaches, and even helps you sleep better. And if it's evening and you're not washing your hair, you can still massage your scalp dry using a little warm oil or even just your fingertips. One of my patients, Richard, started doing this every night before bed. He was having trouble sleeping, felt sluggish during the day. After 2 weeks of back stretches in the morning and scalp massages at night, not only was he sleeping through the night, his kids told him he seemed more alert and cheerful again. "It's like the fog lifted," he said. So, why are these 2 areas so powerful? Because when you nurture your spine, you're calming your central nervous system, the very core of how you feel, move, and think. And when you care for your scalp, you're nourishing your brain, your center of memory, clarity, and joy. It's not about expensive treatments or fancy routines. It's about treating your body with kindness. And here's the truth. You don't have to wait for pain or problems to start taking care of yourself. Make it a habit of gratitude, thanking your body for all it does. As I tell my older patients, you can't stop time, but you can keep your spine strong and your mind sharp with just 5 mindful minutes a day. Now that we've tuned into your body's energy centers, let's move towards something even more powerful. The final message that brings everything together. A gentle reminder that no matter your age, your story isn't over yet. Not even close. If there's one thing I want you to take away from our time together today, it's this. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin, gently, patiently, and with love. Start with just one area. Maybe it's your feet, the quiet roots that have carried you through every chapter of life. Or your underarms, so often overlooked, yet quietly protecting your body's defenses. Maybe it's the tender skin of your inner thighs that longs for comfort and breath. Or perhaps it's your spine and scalp, gateways to clarity, movement, and rest. Whichever one calls to you the most, begin there. Give it 5 minutes tomorrow morning, not as a chore, but as a thank you to the body that has stood by you through every joy and sorrow. I remember one patient, Clara, who told me, "I used to think self-care was something selfish, something I didn't have time for. But now I see it's the way I tell my body, you matter." And that's what I hope you'll feel too. This isn't just hygiene. This is healing. This is dignity. This is the quiet rebuilding of strength and confidence that no age can take away. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't feel overwhelmed. Just pick one place, one small gesture of care, and then the next day, maybe one more. With time, these little acts will not only change how your body feels, they'll change how you see yourself. Because you are not done yet. You're still writing your story. And I believe from the bottom of my heart that the next chapter can be one of strength, ease, and grace, starting with the simplest of steps. Now, if this video touched something in you, share it with a friend. Let's grow this quiet movement of loving self-care together.